Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Mazi of Maz's World, and this episode of Maz's World is brought to you by Davey Screen Print. As you can see, the Maz's World tour shirt is here. It's coming soon, and yes, the home team did that. They did this, and you can get yours done too. Be sure to hit up Davey Screen Print on IG. Your boy Mazi, we'll holler at y'all. Peace.
I put this on everything.
Party people,
I love this.
It's your boy
My
MCs
sweat, my clothes. I thought I told you this is my world, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, party people, and the place to be. Screws, I've been waiting on this one.
Same.
M-A-Z. All right. Go ahead and get your introduction out the way. What's happening?
Hey man, I'm back.
Welcome back, bro.
Fresh out of COVIDville.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm negative, everybody. By the way, we good. We good.
we good. You know what I mean?
That shit was rough. 3 years ago? Over 3 years ago now, right?
Since it dropped?
Yeah.
Yeah, since the COVID album out?
I was good. That shit even touched me a little bit.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, when everybody's outside, I got beatboxed on, and it was a wrap.
Where's the camera at? So, homie from South Dakota, if you're watching, we on your head top, bro.
That shit was tough.
That shit was bad. Packed house tonight.
Yo.
To the missus, hi. Jose's in here.
What's that?
Wrecking Ralph is in here. Behind the lens as always. And then to my right. Where do we start, Skrills?
I mean, where can you start?
Where can you start? Golly. This man's put in a lot of work, a lot of groundwork for the city. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got familiar with him. I think it was it Chopping Them Up 5?
6.
6?
6 was my first one.
6 was your first one? And then, was it 7? Well, it was, yeah, I think it was 6. He was on 7 too, right? I was in a classroom, not to make you sound old, you know what I'm saying? But Judson High School, you know what I'm saying? In science. I'm listening to this tape. Goddamn deal. Liveola, switch the house. Homebody. Watch me. It might get crucial. I was like, hold on. No Side Live. Live.0. Liveola is in the house. What's happening? Supposed to be signed by military. Is that true or false?
Man, Commander never told me that. I got so much I want to show, but they're like, do that thing you do, boy. What are you doing this for? Are you doing this to be popular? Are you doing this just for someone to talk about? Are you doing this to feed your family, you know? Yeah, the music, that was the most beautiful part to me. So everybody's trying to top the next person, you know what I'm saying? He my brother, man, but he ain't fucking with me. That's what I'm doing.
Come on, man.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Listen, thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to come kick it with us, man. The living legend. How you been, man?
I'm blessed, man. Beyond blessed, man.
Yeah.
Just in a real grateful space, man.
What you been up to, man? Talk to us.
I mean, besides music, you know, just having babies and eating luxurious, you know.
Yeah. Congrats on the newborn, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, my bad. If I remember, y'all weren't too far out of high school when we were jamming, though.
Nah, I started rapping at, 19? I was about 19. So
yeah, because I think...
So that's about a good 3 years apart. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So because that's what kind of tripped me out was that when the homie put me on, he had mentioned that, y'all were from here. Yeah. This was Third Degree, by the way.
Right.
To me, the big three when I got introduced was Live, Mark G, and Kali.
Yeah.
And then later, someone told me that Ken was in the mix. But he was always kind of like off to the side kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that part. I didn't know y'all were that far. Only 19?
Yeah, I went to high school. I was in the 9th grade and I dropped out, but
yeah,
started rapping real quick after that.
Yeah, and then got to it. Yeah. And I remember seeing, oh my God, I can't remember the CD store, but there was a store at
Urban City.
Oh, yeah, Urban City, yeah, for sure, for sure. But there was another. I think it was in McCreeless.
Yeah,
there was a store. There was a spot in McCreeless.
It was McCreeless too. It was Sean. It was Sean at. Oh man. Talking history now. Yeah, I know this about a McCreeless, a couple malls.
Yeah, because that's where I bought Program Direct.
That's 04. That's like 04.
Yeah, it was like 04.
Yeah.
And I remember buying the CD. I popped it in, and of course, first I'm looking at the cover. I'm like, of course, he got the girlfriend throwback on with the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? And then he going crazy. And I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place with the timeline, but when you came home, you were saying that the love just never left.
I wasn't expecting it, because average rapper get about 4 years, and I was going 10. So I was like, man, it'd be crazy if I can come home and still rap. You know what I'm saying? If they still, because I'm in a box. I don't really know if people still remember me, or it's just the music's changing. I'm hearing on the radio. Every once in a while I see somebody come on the unit. They know who I am or whatever. But they're in a little time capsule too. So
right.
I'm not even in touch with reality. So anyway, when I first started touching, I started seeing social. I got locked up on MySpace. So I started seeing the Facebook and the IG, and then people were still like, it was still, the energy was still there. I was like, oh shit, I might be able to do something.
Yeah.
This might work.
And that was the thing too, man. When you came home, that was like a big celebration.
No, it was like a countdown. People were like, yo, Liveola got 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, how y'all even know? Who tapped in like this?
But I'm seeing it, and I'm not expecting it at all. So it's just like, man, I never had no like hit the charts or nothing. I never had a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None of that. I never had no crazy single. So man, so to get that energy, I'm like, oh man.
Speaking of deals, so I don't know if you was on Camilitary.com like that. Were you?
I was.
So I'm guessing you saw the talks then.
What? That I got a deal?
You were supposed to be signed by Camilitary. Is that true or false?
Man, Camille never told me that. I would have probably did it.
That was like in the talks in some of the forums where
when he had signed Ken, it made sense. I see how it made sense. He kind of fit the template over there. But when I come around, I think I felt like they were like leery of me, like, oh, he's this damn fool. He's this damn fool again. And on the business side, it'd be a liability. And of course, it would have been a liability. They would have
with the situation that ended up happening, right?
Yeah, because I was kind of wild, and I didn't even know how to turn it down in front of certain people.
Gotcha.
So they looking, okay.
Yeah, because that was the talks in the forums. It was like, Liveola out of San Antonio, that was with Ken. He's, Camilitary, he about to be up next too. He about to get picked up. And I was like, what?
I was hoping for it, but in hindsight, I get it, Like, remember, I don't know if you're familiar, like Wu-Tang Clan.
Right.
And you would see Old Dirty Bastard just way more reckless than everybody else. Like, oh my God, this dude. Like, that's how I look back at myself then.
Gotcha. Hold on. So now I'm thinking about the timeline here. So of course, the Third Degree, everything, the ball starts rolling. Mixtapes are going crazy. Everything y'all drop, you know what I mean, is people here in the city going crazy for it. And I remember on YouTube, Liveola dropped you.
Yeah, see shit like that.
That was wild. I was like, oh shit, like Liveola active out here, like he getting to it. And then
thank God we didn't have cameras like we have now,
Oh, yeah, nah.
That was before World Star. That would have made World Star.
Absolutely. You would have definitely did numbers with what?
It's been out of here by then.
Okay, so did you now with the merch and all that you would have definitely capitalized and made Liveola drop your shirts and all that. You would have went out of here with that. For sure. And then of course, unfortunately the situation happens. You go away. You come home, everything picks up, looking lovely. Then Third Degree reunion talks.
Yeah, that was in the works probably like immediately when I came home, but I wasn't really interested in it, man. I just wanted to rock out with Kyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was of no benefit to me in my mind, in my mind at the time. But we slowly worked it in. Certain people worked out their differences, and then we got to it. Mm-hmm. Still ain't released a lot of the music we made. We made some good music.
And shout out to Views, you know what I'm saying? Jay Ross was happening. I was watching the interview, and you were saying that there's still a lot of stuff like in the vault that's kind of locked up that y'all said.
I think it's bangers. I think the people would like it, But
yeah. So have you talked to Mark G at all?
I talked to him here and there. He's in a different headspace, man. That's one of them touchy subjects, man. It's like
you hear things about him, and it's just like it's just rough. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, but. If you don't mind me asking, man, and again, like Molly said, we kind of jumping around, man, but just give me a quick breakdown of how you came about to get linked up with Juan, right? And Kyle Lee and all that, and how that group came about. Because I imagine y'all were all
we
separate.
all came from separate groups. Kyle was on the east side. Ken was like I remember like the Stallions and Chocolate Boys and stuff back then. And Mark, he is a Platinum Stars. He was with another group. So Juan had a store called Urban City. At this time, it was at Ingram.
Right.
And he was selling all the Swisher House, the Boss Hog, all those tapes. And we didn't really have that, like, a foot in that genre, But I think we had there's more rappers before us,
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't in that genre. So he was like, hey, man, and that's where I was going to get my Swisher House tapes and stuff, CDs. Right. So he said, I'm putting together a compilation. He told this dude Supreme I used to mess with. He said, I'm putting together a compilation. I'm going to have Chameleon on it and Paul Wall, and and I'm going to get the best rappers I can find here. He had heard some little pressed up tape we had put together, and he was like, "Who's this dude?" But I already knew him from buying clothes and stuff. So went up there, and then just so happened the night before that I meet Mark G. He's at some party freestyling craziest shit I ever heard, And then we wound up going up there. Kyle came later. He actually slid a demo, and I pushed it. He was trying to sell it, and I pushed it too. I'm like, "Nah, we got to get this dude,"
Yeah.
But he put it. Juan, he was a visionary for that, man. He put it together.
I actually want to sit down and talk to him soon too. I think that'd be a dope combo.
I still talk to him here.
Still talk to him
these days because, his wisdom's gold, man.
Nah, for sure. And I know he busy too. Open up the barbershops and all that stuff.
He turned Urban City to a high end barbershop.
Yeah, for sure. Making a lot of money too. I seen them prices up there. I'm like,
He gonna get his money.
Nah, for sure. So I remember on the new Illuminati podcast. Shout out to those guys over there too. When they talked to Juan. He was saying that y'all had some deals on the table, but y'all was just
he went to New York. He went to New York a couple times. I think he was requesting numbers too high, and he's a businessman. He'd mess with this kind of money, so he's turning shit down. I probably wouldn't have turned down. He's talking millions of dollars and shit, and they said they didn't meet his offer, and then he'll come back empty handed, and I'm like, oh my God, man, come on, man.
We're at this point where you like, yo, let me sit down and eat meetings.
For real. I was getting mad. I'm like, anything's plenty, like, you talking millions, like, that shit just gets fuzzy. You ain't having millions of dollars. So it's like, hey, what's the difference? What's the difference? 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 2 million, we would have been done with that budget already.
It's crazy too, because like, then that's when I don't know if y'all went y'all separate ways, but I remember you was doing stuff with what's homeboy's name? Was it Lone Star?
Yeah. See, that's when famous when he got his military deal. Yeah. He also had a CNL, and then Lone Star was on that label. I was working with that label too. But now I also the GMG label was doing a group thing. That's still under that same umbrella. Yeah, that's right. Y'all was doing. Shout out Jay Lee Bird. Yeah, for sure. Flying through this is a blur. Cause you've been doing your thing for a minute, dog. Fast forward, you dropping your solo projects and everything like that, and then you link up with Fred the Godson. R.I.P. Fred, man. I didn't get the reaction I thought I would get out of it because I was such a fan of Fred. You did for me, cause I'm like, do y'all know who this is? It was like if you know type thing, right? But oh man, I actually read an article about him before I even heard the music. I was born in New York, so I had some connection in New York and try to connect some dots and. Wound up talking to him, and it was all love, man. And I wound up going up there doing 2 songs, a video, hanging out with him, talking to him, building with him, and then he died right after that, man. COVID, dog. That's crazy, bro. So, yeah, how did you even pull that off? I don't know, man. Just I get in these little modes like, well, I could do it if all I got to do is do this and this, and then man, I just start. Doing my due diligence, shit just went through, I get him on the phone and talking to him, and then we know a couple people common interests, and damn, next thing you know, I flew up there, and we're in Dipset Studios, man. With what's it called? With Arsonist, Arsonist from Heatmakers. Yeah, they share the same studio, Wow. Yeah, so blew me away. We had the big Dipset bird thing. I'm taking pictures. I'm just blown away. I had just missed Cameron and Jim. Oh, I just missed them when I got there. I'm like, man, it's crazy. Just the history and just and he's, man, to me, he was probably one of, if not the best, one of the best lyricists ever. Facts. So for me to just, be the same era and him, he heard my stuff and he was like, man, you got it, For sure. To get that nod from him was like, you doing something. Yeah. For sure, and that's another thing too. Like you, when it comes to the punchlines and lyrics, like that, you one of the hard hitting punchlines and punchers too. Yeah. So to go up there with him and just go punch for punch is kind of up there. Yeah.
Which brings me to this question then. Top 5 punchline rappers of all time. From Live.
From Live. Fred, if I'm a punchline, I'm going to say Fred.
You got to put Fred up there, yes.
I'm going to put Fred. I'm going to do Goods.
Okay.
Goods.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, I'm a Goods fan. Let's see. Lloyd Banks is up there too, man. Punchline rapper. Oh, I'm sorry. Jada Kiss.
Okay.
Jada Kiss. We put Jada Kiss in right there, and then see me one more.
One more. So wait, that's Fred, Goods, Jada. You said Banks.
Lloyd Banks.
Okay, so yeah, one more.
And Wayne. Wayne, you getting it, man.
Wow. It's a good list.
But now it's so much more than just the punchline, man.
It is.
It's the double, triple entendres, man. It's the wordplay and just. I get real nerdy into this shit, man.
Nah, for sure.
Symmetrically lining up 6 sentences and all, or set up the punch every other one, and just it gets weird with me.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because that was one thing. Growing up, I was Big is my favorite artist.
Me too.
He made joints that you could listen to.
Freaking movies.
Exactly, bro. Any day you can listen to any of his shit. One thing I noticed about you, man, was that you were like you said, you were technical. And at the time, there was a lot of main, and you had that sound, but if you really started to listen, it was like, nah, Live is saying some shit. You say you were born in New York, man, so how'd you make that jump to Texas or San Antonio, let alone?
Right. Well, we came down when I was 10 years old. I turned 10, you know what I'm saying? Just the price of living, whatever, But I always been a fan of, I was first a fan of hip-hop, New York hip-hop, And then I started just transitioning down here, to the Screw stuff, and then later came the Swisher House stuff, and it just built into that, But, Big was my first favorite artist, you know what I'm saying? Just having that already as the template in my mind when I'm writing raps from the beginning, Think about my first Big tape in 91 or 92 or something, So
you remember, you were old enough to remember Big at the time.
Oh yeah.
Man, how long did it take you to assimilate to the Texas sound versus growing up to New York?
Well, I've been writing some form of rap since I was 8, probably. They probably, they wasn't really nothing, but next 4 or 5 years after being down here, I was already just into that, But there was still no template for a down south lyrical type. It wasn't. I had nothing to base it off of.
Right.
I'm just doing it, and it's in my own hand. I'm like, well, maybe it could be cool, and it was cool to some people I showed, but I didn't have nobody to look up to that had did it. Now there's there's a lot of that. You got the Magnos, the Killer Calleones,
right?
But it wasn't that. So,
man, and that's the most interesting thing to me, Mazi, is that you kind of are solidifying what I thought happened, right? Because I had heard you from New York originally. You came down here and the two styles meshed.
Exactly.
So you were it before it. You know what I'm saying? You made that kind of before it. So before it became a thing, I should say.
Right.
But I guess to your earlier point, man, when I heard you did the joint with Fred the Godson, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Right.
But yeah, here in the city, they're it's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that, to me, that got me a little upset because I was like, bro, y'all don't understand.
Y'all don't understand.
It's a different level. He just hit. You know what I'm saying?
Now over there, they were like, okay, cool. Who's that dude? I think Flex heard it too. He's like, who's this dude?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I heard. I got a nice little recognition over there, but down here it was that. Should have got Mo 3 or something like shit. RP.
No, RP Mo 3 for sure. But yeah, that's so crazy. Just because, like you said, people may not understand, but I still think it's the cultural thing.
Cultural, yeah.
It's a cultural battle, and it's upsetting. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just
I was such a fan of a lot of East Coast lyricism and things like that, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Yeah, in the book.
But just for the books, the number.
That's bucket list stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's bucket list stuff, and when you did that, it was like, nah, salute to Live, man, because boy said.
Does that? I always wondered though, man, because obviously the city knows you for one style, one.
Right.
What made y'all great, right? But obviously there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it. Probably the music you're making now, because some of the stuff I've heard recently is different.
Well, but it's still at the same time, okay, my biggest record to date was the one I did with Pokey, right? I'm not gonna say it's dumbed down, but I ain't just go full throttle lyricism with them, but they're that's what they want. Like, okay, that's cool, all that, you know, but what about this, you know?
Does that make you feel way though when you're like, yo, give me that whole live? Or like,
yeah, because I had so much, man, there's so much. I was around showing Ralph, man, I got like some reggae type reggae. I got so much I want to show, but they're like, that's cool, but
damn,
man, get a man. You know, can you holler a little bit? We don't want you to be too melodic or, you know, whatever. But I'm just blessed to be in the space anyway, man. Whatever they want to do. Like last night, the Straight Wrecking song, yeah, I go hard. Mister, they made me bring that bitch back 3 times. Like, I got so much more.
Let me get the drive. Let me show y'all something, man.
Like, nah, do that thing you do. Do that thing you do, boy.
Damn.
That's crazy,
bro.
Man.
And there's another artist out here, Molly Blanco.
Yeah, that's Molly.
And you did a joint with her, man, that it was like this melodic kind of, I think he was singing on there too or something like that. But it was some shit that I heard. I was like, yo, this is live? I think I even sent it to you.
Right, yeah.
And I was like pleasantly surprised, you know what I'm saying? Like, excuse me, COVID.
Yo, relax.
But
I was like, man, dog, I didn't know you had that in the bag, in your bag.
I do it. I always do, but then I always drop something, you know, that I know is going to work with it. Just in case, and just by trial and error, it still goes to the goes to that. But I always do.
And speaking of, you know, your signature sound, because like we were saying before, we know when a live verse is coming, we know it's you. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, it's still a discussion in the city about the definition of the San Antonio sound, if you will. And I know Skrizzle and I was talking before too, like, y'all had a sound.
Right.
And when you come to define the San Antonio sound, we automatically say y'all, you know what I'm saying, whether it's you or Kyle, you know what I mean? But nowadays, you know, you have the Rich Greedies and TB Robbie doing the production from here and still trying to find that sound, if you will. And then you get the other.
It's hard though, because San Antonio is such a melting pot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how could you, you know, you have blending of cultures and you know, age demographics and people coming from we got all these military bases with all these other bringing these outside influences. It's very hard to pin down a sound like
for sure
in a melting pot.
So I was gonna say, like, do you have, you know, maybe who has a sound, or like you were saying, is there a sound here in the city? And if so, who has it?
I don't think there is. I think there's sections, you know, like we got our sound
for sure,
you know, and you know, like when I mess with like Double, Coast and them, you know, Ralph, they been to our sound. You know, and you know, vice versa. When I do something with Hoodlum, I do something with Rich, I go to their sound. But just as a sound for the city now, it is a Texas sound.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. There's a Texas sound, but
you know, and Houston gets a big part of that, you know, because they weren't as big as a melting pot as we are. But
San Antonio is always, we get lost in the mix.
Yeah. I mean, you go to the show down here. You know, say you got 5, 6, 7 artists going, you're gonna hear something different from every single one of them,
right?
It ain't like, you know, like an East Coast show, a New York show. So it's all boom bap.
I do think that there is something here, though. I just feel like San Antonio, Rich Greedy, for example.
Yeah, Rich is mastering.
Right? They took that cumbia sound and put beats behind it and all that, but that's not necessarily identifies with San Antonio. It's just more of a
But if somebody from San Antonio started doing what Rich is doing, then it'd be like, oh, you're trying to do what Rich is doing.
Right.
And on that end, though, like we're real like San Antonio will attack the fuck out of you. You know,
for biting somebody's sound.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
As far as how collectively, I don't even see it happening like that. See, to me, like speaking of Rich, like when I hear Rich, and when we talked, you know, like he's kind of, I feel like he took kind of like what we were doing, and he made it into his own little thing he's got now. You know what I'm saying? But it still took a piece of that sound. Like, come down my back in the scuba diving tank. Like we were doing that, but he made it. You know what I'm saying?
And he took his culture, right? He took it and he applied it over his culture, which was the...
I can't say the San Antonio sound, but that's the sound.
Yeah.
That's the sound. He carried on that sound.
For sure.
Do you see any comparisons or similarities between then and now?
I say before the thousands, San Antonio was still kind of racist, you know? And then coming into the thousands, like when we were rapping, the sides of town were really like Eastside was not trying to hear shit we were talking about, you know what I'm saying? Selective, I'm not saying.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and then everybody, I don't know, it was just real, it was a lot of tension, man. And And if you rapped, it wasn't just like, okay, I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna just challenge him, and it was like, man, we want to fight, or we're gonna disrespect them, and it's all diss songs, and it was a lot of like BS energy, man. I feel without that, we could have went even further. Like we could have just took the city as a whole. We do some San Antonio tours. We could have put some bigger things together, but it was a lot of shit that took years to get past. You know, till we're barely getting past it now. Like when I see them now, they're like, oh, like it's good. You know, so like the youngsters that have their beefs and things going on now, like if they could just, I know it's talking to the wind, but if they just get past that shit, you could fast forward so much, man. You know, there's certain artists that, like right now, the youngsters like that just compliment each other and that wouldn't step on each other's toes or nothing, you know, and put together these tours and you know really take off because we didn't have the internet. We weren't doing millions of fucking views and shit. You know, these dudes is getting money we never could have thought to get back then in views. Like, you know, and if they could just put some of that bullshit to the side. I'm behind the scenes talking to them.
Facts.
They entertain it a little bit, but you can't tell another grown man, you know, what not to. But
and
man,
the age too.
And the age too, I think plays a difference too, plays a factor too.
Yeah, you know this generation too. You know with the guns with the 100 clips and turning Uzis and rocket launchers in the car. I cannot tell this man, you know, I can't tell this man nothing, man, you know. But there's no longevity in that, man.
Right.
That's true. I mean, case in point with BTB Savage.
RP, man.
Man, if I know you got machine guns and rocket launchers, I got a problem with you, I'm not even thinking about fighting you. You are an immediate threat. I need to, you know, like that. And that's that energy. That's that energy now. It's just. And it's just, you know, it's rap, man. We're just trying to feed our families and stuff, man. But if they can get past that, well, who knows, man? Who knows?
It's crazy, too, because we recently had a Play on here, that boy Play.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, we asked him if he started a label, what artists would you sign, right? And he was saying that he would have, of course, there would have to be a sit-down. But Izzy 93, Hoodlum, and Rich Greedy, they be a group. They just be a super group.
I wouldn't say no names. I wouldn't say no names, but yes.
Yeah, because
if they could all just, you know, like man, it benefit me, shit. I'll somehow get a bag out the shit somewhere down the line. Some shit, you know. It'd be just great. It'd just be great, you know.
Man.
Speaking of BTB with his untimely demise, man. Of course, there's been talks about the Vlad interview and everything like that. First off, would you do a Vlad interview?
No, absolutely not.
No?
No.
Okay.
We Mazi world. We ain't no plan.
Come on, man.
I feel Vlad like he just his journalist questions are designed to fail you, you know.
Right. So before watching the interview, I was like, okay, maybe they talked about music and stuff like that, but literally that whole interview was about the story that happened.
And that's the thing too. I'm not going to get up in here and talk about street stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
Thank God you're not asking me that because I don't be rude. Like I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about anything incriminate me, my friends, my enemies.
Right.
I don't need the clout thing. And that's the thing too. Like it's a clout generation, and you know when things get you know a little stagnant. You know you say some crazy shit or you bring up some shit that make people probably people interested in the beef and all that. But man, shit comes with that, man, and you know, I'm just for the longevity, man. I think it's all the way inappropriate, and it's cringy to me when I hear people talking about things they shouldn't be talking about on the public platform, man. I'm from a generation where you know what happens in this house stays in this house, you know.
Come on, dog. Yeah, I'm same, and that's why I was like, what happened to no comment?
Right.
What happened to just dodging questions? Like, and to all artists that's out there that's watching this, that sitting there saying, well, I would have did Vlad. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, if you would have done Vlad. Well, go before you sit down with him. Watch the Pee Wee Longway interview. This man is dog. You talk about like if you want to make a dodgeball team, he's first pick because he dodged all those questions.
But I don't even want to put myself in a situation where I got to think about every single question you're saying because I know you're trying to trip me up. Right. You know, but Pee Wee Longway, he did his damn thing with him. Boosie does well with him.
Yeah, Boosie did well with it too. Yeah, for sure. You know? But I'm like, okay, so if BTB Savage were to sit there and do that interview, he could have answered those questions differently to not put himself in that situation. But in my mind, I'm just like, I wouldn't even done the interview personally. If you just want to get me on there, Like, all right, so we talking music, we talking this. Well, no, I want to get into your situation. No, I ain't doing it.
Well, what? What
are we talking
for?
What
are we promoting?
Right.
No.
Nah, I'm not doing it. But to all parties involved, like, you know, to the family and everybody, condolences, you know, all, you know what I'm saying? RP, BTB, RP, the other, you know, the victim as well. I feel like I had to ask you just because I wanted, you know, if any of the youngers that's watching, you know what I mean, in case they come to a situation like that, how should they maneuver in that situation? You know what I mean? Give them some advice to be like,
you just gotta, man. It's what are you doing this for? Are you doing this to be popular? Are you doing this just for someone to talk about? Are you doing this to feed your family? You know, and anything that's gonna get in the way of the money, and you handling your business, you know. No sense of speaking. You know, street shit remains in the street. Leave that there, man.
Yes.
And if you're trying to feed your family and do something, you know, you don't want no parts of it. No way. Yeah, I could get up on here and probably talk all kind of street secrets and shit. And it'd probably go crazy.
And drop names and all that.
They're like, oh shit,
why?
Like what's that gonna do for you? You know what I'm saying? Or for all parties involved.
For sound clips or whatever.
Right.
So, I make music though. I make some good music.
That's what I'm saying. And the part that makes me mad is the same shit that Joe Budden and all of them are fighting and Vlad is getting paid off of all this.
But the Joe Budden thing too, man. I think that man said he was gay. Like, he said he was gay.
He did, yeah, he did. He come out and say he was bisexual or something like that.
I think he just said that for clout.
He did.
I know it's all kinds, but damn. If you just lied and said you was gay just for a little clout for the moment, like,
right. Just because your partners went up and started another show and then you go and say something wild like that. Just
and every time they ask somebody, like, I'm like, that's a big leap just for a sound.
Right. If you want to come up for anything for clout, I'm not saying that.
That's the last thing you would say.
You would come up with anything else. You know what I'm saying? Why that? You know? I don't know,
but maybe it is, maybe not. I don't know, but it don't seem like it.
Yeah, nah, it's clown activities if you ask me, but you know, teach your own.
You had a dope line right now, man, about, you know, are you looking to get into this because it's a cool thing to do? You're looking to feed your family. If you don't mind speaking on like the actual like business side, and because you got introduced to this, to actual money making, and you know, at 19, 20, what are some of the like highs and lows, man, when it comes to actually trying to make money? Well, you know, making music. You know what I mean?
Well, number one, I'm not very computer literate. You know, so these youngsters, they got that mastered. You know, that's why they can million views. They got fans all over the world type stuff. You know, but just with my regular grind too, you know, there might be 3-4 months in a row I'm just beating them up. There might be a month nothing come, so they're still budgeting and money still got to go back in for promos and studio time, things like that, man. So there's no guarantee. I can't tell you what I'm gonna make next month. Can't tell you this and that. I might kill them. It might be awesome. It might just, you know, cover. So I can't get too frivolous. It's nothing cemented, you know. But as far as like trying to keep up with the times and stuff, man, it's crazy. But if I you know, the younger generation, they come up in it, so it's more natural for them, the peak posting hours and, you know, just how to maneuver through it, man. And we should drop off CDs.
Yeah,
we should drop off CDs to
consignment.
You know, in 13 states we should drive, and you have to go. You know, you drop them off the first couple rounds, you're not making no money. But when, you know, you're drawing your third, fourth CD, then you're picking up money from the old one. You're refreshing it. You're trying to get home with enough money. You know, with counting hotels, flat tires, someone going to jail, change clothes. You're trying to get home with the money still. You know, and then you still got to repress it. Man, yeah, it was crazy. You know, it's a new game now, but yeah, that was crazy. That was. Anything's liable to happen, you know. Yeah. If you show up, the dude's never out of your CD. He's freaking bootlegging your CD. He got the first batch, and it's a never-ending stack for him. You know, you got to confront. That was a big thing too, confronting bootleggers, and you know, you act like you damn near want to fight them, you tear the store up, type stuff. It's crazy.
Early on, man, you know, when the group broke up, there was always who was at fault, who had this, who had the bigger. Yeah.
Point fingers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and because I actually tuned into this is actually years ago. Juan did a podcast with who was it? It might have been New Illuminati. Might have been New Illuminati, yeah. And he just kind of spoke on like a little bit of the pay structure for Third Degree early on, man. And
almost like on some ego type stuff, like who was getting paid more? Who
it wasn't even really that. I don't really remember. It was more of like how I understood it, if I remember. And again, this is a while back, so forgive me if I'm jumping here. But like, y'all weren't necessarily getting paid. That's like a job. It was, I think he said something about like credit in the store and all this other stuff.
Shit like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, shit, he spoke it. I'll speak on it. Yeah, shit like that. You know, we got a project. We know we had so much money due to us. So, you know, you were still young. We want to get fresh every day. We go to the store, just put on some clothes, and he's just taking tabs of it, whatever. But you start feeling like you're owed more, you know? And and me personally, I started going out of town on my own. I started going to Dallas, messing with J-Mac. Shout out J-Mac. You know what I'm saying? Urban Nation. And I'm getting a whole nother lump, you know?
And that's you. And
that's me. It's all me. I'm not. I don't have to give no percentages or nothing. And then, you know, I got people in my ear. They're like, man, you should be getting more than just that. What'd you get last month? This and that. Well, I got $2,500 worth of clothes and this and that, you know. And you start feeling like you want more and you deserve more, you know.
For sure.
And there's a lot Juan did for me. I'm not just bashing him, you know. But at the time, you know, say you owe me $2,000-$3,000, I'll be sitting around him all day. And he keep pulling out the same $5,000-$6,000 and he ain't paying me. And I start getting resentful, you know. Yeah. And I remember what such and such told me and how easy it was for me to get this money. And then, you know, everybody from different sections like, nah, you should be getting more. I see he sold this many CDs and this and this. And, you know, a lot of ego and ego on his part too. I ain't gonna act like he wasn't at fault. Ego on his part too. And
sure.
Because I do remember him being like, bro, like if you were a local rapper, dog, and you happened to be at the Urban City and you saw Juan, it was like, yo, dog, I got to give him my shit, right? Because I don't know if you remember, but there was a shit called Third Platoon that he started.
So a subgroup?
Yeah, a subgroup, because there was so many artists that wanted to get down with the imprint that he just kind of made a whole subgroup kind of thing or whatever. Right. But yeah, man, when I first heard that, I was kind of like, damn, man, you know, obviously from outside looking in, I thought y'all were cashing checks. Because the whole independent game, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Dude, I mean, I'm not gonna say it was time we wouldn't get some money. You know, he busted, but it wasn't. Sometimes it wasn't consistently. Sometimes, you know, I'm thinking I've got all this lump coming. You're like, no, we're gonna take off this much for your clothes. You just got, or sometimes you just take a little bit and I'll be satisfied. Sometimes not, you know. And but I was still doing a lot of extracurricular stuff too, trying to fill in them gaps and make it, you know, look like more than it was, and make, you know. And that became a problem too, though. You know,
right?
I'm out doing criminal activities, but claiming it's from rap. You know, you know what I'm saying? In a nutshell.
I remember the day that shit just like kind of imploded, and everyone just, it was official. Like, yo, I ain't doing this or that and whatever. And can you speak on like that day? Like, what
this was that day. This was the day. Me, Kylie, and this other dude, RJ. We got in a car to go to Florida, Orlando, Florida, dropping CDs off. That was the last stop, Florida, for some event. It was some event. And we didn't have money. We didn't have money. We were supposed to sell CDs to get the hotel and this and that. And it just got us frustrated. Like, hell no. And then we had just got these new chains. We got these $5,000 white gold chains.
The 3rd degree joints.
Yeah, the latest ones, the white gold ones.
Yeah.
And then and you got all this shit on, but you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
And then like we couldn't even call for no money. Like, nah, sell some CDs. You know, Juan, he was on sell some CDs, ain't getting no hotel. Like, man, we're fucking 20 hours from the house. Like, ain't nobody trying to buy no CD. Everybody's giving away CDs at this event. I want to say it was not the SCA Awards. It was something. And I looked at Kyle. I told Kyle, I'm done, man. I'm done with this shit, man. I already had all this shit in my ear, all these people, you know, and then there was money coming from separate places. So I said, man, I'm just gonna do this, you know. But I don't know. I should have handled it better, but I felt like Kyle was on the fence. He wasn't on it as me.
Right.
So I know, like, man, if I stay in contact with him, he's gonna try to talk me into coming back if he ain't, you know.
Gotcha.
And he really just wanted me to double down with it so he could come, you know. But he didn't, and I cut off all communication, and he felt like I left him too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that one. But it was never real beef, and then he didn't want to go on his own because once everybody else left, shit, the money is the money, you know. So he started, you know, doing right for him for a while until, you know, that fell out. But yeah, that was the day, man.
Damn.
So then I come back, I reconfigured it. I dropped my first. What was it? All Eyes on Live. I dropped my first solo outside of 3rd Degree. And the payout was more, like fucking damn near triple what I would have got with Juan, you know.
Wow.
And I know once you
immediately,
you saw that and was like,
oh hell no. 'Cause I was just getting like 17% with Juan.
Right.
Now I'm 50-50 off of a 50-50 off of all costs back.
Damn.
You know, so you were talking $7 a CD and you selling thousands of damn CDs, you know.
Right.
So yeah. I'm like, oh hell no.
He said, I ain't going back. It's me.
And this is simple living too. This is before the Versace and all that shit, man. This is simple. We tall tees and Dickies and Jordan. So that money going far. Yeah. We didn't have to have all that, you know, simple little chain, little, you know, it was cool. Yeah.
But at the same time, man, what came out of it was just stars in their own right. You know what I'm saying? Yourself.
And that's the thing too, man. And credit to Juan, he put together he put together just alphas of every group. He picked the alpha and just the history of groups and you know, R&B groups, country, I don't give a fuck, rock and roll group. When you have that much star power in one room, man, it's only gonna last for so long. Even now when we got back together, it's like hell no. and you know, they wanted to do group shows with us. Like, man, if everybody wanted to get their fee, man, ain't nobody gonna pay all that fucking money for, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't fucking Metallica, you know? Kendra been around the world with Chameleon and did, you know, on the MTV and stuff, man. Sosa did his thing, Kyle did his hell of a thing. So nobody wants to fold. No one wants to bend a little bit, you know?
Right.
Yeah, the music, that was the most beautiful part to me.
Yeah.
Because it was like full throttle, everyone coming in with their sounds and ideas, and it was like, wow.
It was almost like back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And where everybody used to come, we used to go to the studio every Wednesday when we were Third Degree, and everybody used to just come with their best verses because they had the beats, but we didn't know what the next person was doing.
Right.
So everybody's trying to top the next person, you know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, man, I have on an average 5, 6, 7 pages just fucking damn near all punchlines, just like, man, wait till like punching the glass, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm doing it like, oh man, then he tried, you know, the next person try to run,
try to outdo you, and then
the energy was crazy then, man. And we was doing, you know, smoking a little regular weed, drinking some beer, going crazy, be hoarse voice, man. It was crazy. It was. I think the studio sessions at Third Degree was better than the shows, you know. It was,
My last question on that is, when Lil Ken got picked up, there was some animosity between him and Kali, right? Like, there was like a kind of a big thing, you know what I'm saying? The radio got involved for some odd reason, but like, because that's my other thing too, y'all, man. Y'all got not really a lot of love from the radio, man, and y'all still did what y'all did.
Right, man. All we had at the radio was Ham, I think. The only one. He
rightfully so,
so
like
much.
Exactly. Because I think we haven't talked to him. We'd love to, but I imagine his hands were tied.
Right. You can only do so much. It's you know, they got a mainstream playlist they got to do, and there's a lot of politics involved in that. And so you only, you know, whenever they do something local or whatever, you know, we're the first ones he call. You know, and if we have something we really want to do, he'll try to pull some strings. You know.
Right.
But
when all that was happening, man, were you kind of caught in the middle, or did you really?
I was in prison.
Yeah. What was your reaction? Because I figured.
Because even then, I imagine like you had. Obviously, you had other things to worry about, but it was.
I mean, I thought it was like, you know, Ken was kind of choosing that, you know, because Kyle's not like a battle rapper or nothing like that. And they know each other. But in my mind, well, if it's that serious, that's your homie, man. Go punch it out and be cool or something, you know?
Right.
Like, to get on the radio, I wasn't feeling it, you know what I'm saying? And Ken, I love him to death, but you don't go to the radio, you know, putting diss songs on your homie, your brother. We done been through all this shit. You know, again, what happens in this house stays in this house, man.
Right.
You know? You know, the same thing, shout out Rose Zero, you know, but that should never been public. I don't think a lot of these things should be public, man, you know. And if I have a problem with my brother, it's that serious, well, we can punch it out behind closed doors and be brothers, man.
We good.
We brothers, man, but to make a song about, you know, somebody, you know, it just don't make sense to me. I would never.
But I think that's just different breed.
Yeah, I mean, that's how he decided to deal with that, you know.
Yeah.
Because me and Kyle got into it before. We didn't go that route. Me and Ken got into it. You know, we didn't really just go that route. You know, we all got into it. You know,
right? But I mean, that's what brothers do. Brothers fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all that matters is a conversation. And if it is that serious, like you said, let's scrap real quick.
But that's why, like, they were able to get over that now.
Right. which is good. You know, a great thing that, you know what I mean?
But Ken already he has that spirit like everything's a competition, like it's a battle.
He's a competitor.
He's looking for somebody to battle now. He's like, I'm the greatest rapper in the city. Like, he's on this shit right now. Like, chill.
I did see that when he was talking with J. Ross.
On that shit right now.
He on it right now.
Hey.
Matter of fact, I'll send Ken an invitation. Ken, if you watching, bro, I mean, if you want to come on here talk your stuff a little bit, and we also got a booth over here for Just Rap. If you want to get your shit off, man, by all means, holla at us.
I gotta get your opinion though, man. We know what you can do, and he basically was saying that.
If we judging music, if we talking about like rap, like I challenge niggas all the time. Like when it comes to like who's the best rapper, nobody really raps better than me. Like in complete totality.
He my brother, man, but he ain't fucking with me.
Come on, man.
I love him to death, man. He ain't fucking. And I don't even talk like that, man.
Yeah, but he was in those sessions you were talking about.
Yeah, he was in those sessions. He know what's going on.
He love me too, man. I love him, man. Fuck with me. You don't even know nobody can fuck with me.
Yes.
Yo,
yes.
Hey, yo, and real quick, man, am I wrong to assume though that like, I mean, Kyle Lee kind of, and this is no disrespect to him, but like, or he always to me was like the glue of a song. He had the hook.
Yeah.
He put that shit together. He made a jam. He made a bop. And then you had the pen, and not to say you couldn't do that, but I feel like everyone had their strengths.
Yeah, what Kyle do, really in this business, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. He's not lyrical enough, or he's making a motherfucking song. He can make them songs.
Yes,
man.
absolutely.
Them songs gonna run, man. Them the I-10 songs.
Coughing.
Yeah, She like he's gonna make them songs, and that's what you want to do. I be trying. You know, I try. You know, I just have my little corner expertise, man. But
I was making a face earlier, but it just clicked to me. When you're talking about, you know, the three, Kyle, Live, and Ken, y'all are pretty much the Spurs.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So if that's the case, like you said, Kyle is, you know, may not be the most lyrical, flashiest lyricist or whatever, but his game is solid.
Solid.
So he's got to be dunking.
Look, when he wanna rap, he gonna rap. He gonna rap. He gonna rap.
And that's dunking. If Duncan want a
hook, he want to make it melodic. He want to just tongue twist spit. He got it. He really got it.
All right. So who's Parker? Who's Ginobili?
Pop was once quoted saying that Ginobili was like a wild stallion on the court.
So that's got to be.
That's got to be live.
It's got to be live.
Candy pink just soaking, 84's just poking. Back up from the low before your head just bust open. Ain't no just joking. Kim folk then squirt those, and I had you in a parking lot, laid out like church clothes.
I'll tell you. I'm like old Rodman or something.
Oh, you with the blonde hair?
Yeah, I just get so many rebounds. I just throw that motherfucker up.
Kick a cameraman a little bit. You the enforcer of the squad.
I would get the rebound anyway. So take some extra shots.
But nah, that's a good point, man. Like, but that for me again, last point of that was that's why I loved y'all so much because
everybody complimented each other.
But we forget about Mark G though, man. Mark G,
absolutely. Come on, man.
Was a monster. Like I learned a lot about. That man was doing, you know, when Eminem was like that man was doing shit like, God, man, I'm talking about like splitting a bar in four, like coming down the column, just like and just making sense with it, like just crazy shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes on a freestyle, man, the dude just blew my fucking mind away, you know. And his best mind, man, that dude. Amazing, crazy. Yeah. And again, my brother, man, and man, he might not even be able to tie his shoe right, but that man could rap.
He rap his ass off.
He can't do really. And I tell him, man, he can't much do nothing but rap. Man, give him a beat, man. He gonna do some shit like, oh my goodness, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. You know, time's passed and he's going through some things, but in his best mind. Man, that dude, it take nothing away from him, you know.
Shout out Mark G, man.
Absolutely, man. It was definitely a time, bro. Like it's San Antonio history. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't really. I mean, again, I'm there. You'll hear older cats that talk like, "What's the PLK, right?"
Or PKO.
PKO, excuse me, PKO, and all that. Obviously, I wasn't there. I was there, but I wasn't there, right?
Right.
But at my time, when I was coherent enough to listen to music and you know, becoming an adult or whatever, Third Degree was it, bro.
It's so crazy you say that because I remember my pops when he was talking to this one girl. she had this mixtape that she had bought at Blockbuster Music.
Wow.
And I think it was Down South something, and Lil Sin was on the cover. That was my first introduction to San Antonio rap artists.
And you know what, man? I said it the other day, man. Lil Sin was the only artist before us that ever showed us love. And I'll put it that way. Yeah. Nobody else, man, they didn't give a damn about what we had going on. And then, or even worse, he, talked down. They hated what we was doing. Yeah. Called us cartoons. Like, there was no love. No love. So now with this new generation, I'm sure to show them love. I'm sure to get, talk to them as much as they want to be talked to, rock with them as much, There was no collabing with them. There was no bridge. So that's why a lot of people feel like, okay, well, we the first ones start this and that, because there was no bridge.
Right.
But there was, of course, man, there was a lot of groups before us, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember hearing the PKOs, but Lil Sin was my first true introduction. And then that's when, like I said, during school, when I heard y'all on the Swisher House tape, and I'm just like, okay, who is this and where are they from? They from the backyard? They from here?
Yeah. So new live.
I was gonna say
live too.
But before we get into that real quick, the graffiti scene. Used to do graffiti?
Yes, sir. Still a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And mind you, shout out to Gex. I don't know if
come on, Gex, what had it?
Bro, he told me this. And when he told me this was years later, mind you. Yeah. It fucked my mind up, bro. I was like, bro, I knew I liked him for some reason, bro.
I was playing graffiti before the music, since the 90s, the early 90s.
Yeah.
Notorious too, from what I heard.
Yeah, you're very aggressive, illegal graffiti, man. And then when I left Third Degree, then I got back into it even more, a little more aggressive, until I went away. I used to write live.
There you go.
I was writing live.
Yeah.
Where'd the Ola come from?
Man, it actually came from Big Mo and Big Pokey. I heard on the tape they were like Motorola. So I just threw the Ola on there just playing, and that's what stuck. But then you know what's crazy? When I come home, I started seeing it online. People had put Olas, everybody's name, they were putting Olas after it, like whatever, your name, Steph Ola, or Mike Ola, or whatever, man, like in homage, man. I was like, man, that was crazy. I wouldn't even thought of that.
City love you, bro.
Man,
absolutely, bro. You interwoven that deep.
I'm not acting gullible, but I didn't know. I really didn't know, man.
Lord. But yeah, the graffiti scene, man. So like, as far as obviously, man, you are like hip hop. By
to the definition.
Fullest,
to the bone.
To the bone.
You know what
DNA.
I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Like, do you favor one over the other? Do you have your moments?
Man, it's really hard. It's really hard because at moments one cancels out the other. And it's kind of contradictive. I'm telling you, I'm over here trying to get this money, this rap money, this and that, but then I'm fucking in a train yard or something. Like, it's just but. I'm still with the shits, man. And that graffiti bug is a real hard one for me to shake, man. And it's really hard to explain to people that don't know about it or that really have an understanding. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing, man? Why are you doing this? It makes no sense to them, man. And it's just my own little video game in my own head, man. And it's really risky too, It's risky, and I'm.
Coming up when you were doing graffiti though, what was more detrimental? Was it like the rap game? Was it the graph game when it came to opposite ends?
Well, when I first started rapping, it canceled out the graffiti for a little bit, and then like I said, I picked it up when we dropped Third Degree. Then I picked it back up again, like just being way more active. But before that, it was graffiti every day, and it's what they call tag banging,
Gotcha.
So you're just trying to fight and just steal and just fully immerse in that culture, and but like I said, it cancels it out. You can't be, you got to be in this place and this and do this and this and pick this money up, and you're risking, on your way, you're risking felonies, that make no sense to these people, and these people invested money in you. And like I said, like if they had assigned me, I was a liability. I didn't understand that, but what do you mean you writing on stuff, man? You supposed to be, what the hell is you?
It's hip hop though.
It's hip hop.
Yeah, I'm hip hop, man. They ain't trying to hear that. On the business perspective,
Yeah. I was like, do you still tap? Get busy with it and all that.
I have the itch sometimes. I have markers on me. If I'm just it's like a little video game to me. Something, I might just catch a tag here.
Yeah.
Scratch up a mirror or something.
I was gonna say, I know you're
But
tagging in the crib. You know what I mean? Your old lady walk by and be like, what the?
Oh, I have a whole man cave just ready to go. Like,
That's how it's supposed to be, though.
I was ready to go. Whatever mission, like fucking Blade. Your Blade pulls back the curtain. He has all these weapons. And shit.
Yeah. That's you with the
I have a whole
oh
fucking
man.
graffiti store. But I try to chill. I got responsibilities, man, and I'd hate for it to double back. You know what I'm saying? And cause me some problems. But
Just do it in the crib, bro. Just do it.
That's easy for you to say. I've been doing this longer than I've been doing this. I'm 12 years old.
Yeah.
41 years old. It's just in me.
Yeah, it's hip hop.
In me, man.
Certain brand?
Yeah, right now Montana, man, but it was Rust-Oleum. It was Rust-Oleum before they switched to tips. So it was Rusto on a Rusto, man. That was my favorite.
He really know. He really about that. he about that.
Rusto on a Rusto on the train, on steel. My favorite.
See?
Yeah.
Nah, he know he about that action.
You know what's dope? I'm loving this convo live, by the way, man. The one thing I love that I'm getting from you right now, man, is that you've never changed.
No, not too
Most
much.
people, man, and we struggle with this a lot because people get regular jobs or whatever the case, whatever it is to, like you said, feed the fam, right? But for the most part, man, like you've remained who you were from 12, 13, 14.
Let me tell you. I was telling my homeboy earlier. I've never really been able to have a regular job or to do something regular, and I'm very interested. Like, the shit interests me, man. Like, I be like in rush hour traffic, and I see these people living like a regular life. Like, you got a check. You're gonna get a check Friday. You know exactly what time. You pack your lunch. Like, that shit is fascinating to me. And I would love to.
That's interesting.
Because I've tried it, and shit God just is not letting it happen. There's always something happens. Something. But it interests me because I never had that. I never had that.
So I guess that's crazy, man. Because what is, I guess, something that keeps you motivated or allows you to just stay away from the rat race and just stay being creative.
I can't get in the rat race. I've tried. I've honestly tried. I wanted that sense of normalcy.
Yeah.
And it just, man, I'd say it's God. God just blocking that. Like,
It ain't
if I
for
go,
you.
they'll fire me on the third day, or it'll be something crazy.
Lie, why'd you tag up this keyboard?
It's some crazy lie bullshit, or this manager don't like my face or something. It's crazy, man. I tried to get a forklift job. I tore that shit up, and I was so into it, man. Just
having a blast.
I was having a good time, man. They were paying all right too, and everything. I tore that shit up. I didn't even mean to, man. Oh man, that shit didn't last.
I'm sorry, hearing live, like, apologize. Hey, my fault, bro.
I try to work at my homeboy's restaurant, and my girl told me, I'm trying to like bust tables and like just do, run the restaurant, and I don't know. I guess I'm too ghetto. I don't know, man. I wasn't doing it right, man. And they're like, nah, it's all right.
Damn, that's wild, man. I guess going into the new live in Houston now.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Tell us about that lifestyle, man.
It's just really just to keep me out, to just direct, man, San Antonio for me is just my battery pack, man. It's just, man.
So that was the reason for the move, was just to remove yourself.
Yeah, so I could finish my parole and just stay out the way, because in San Antonio, oh man.
Right.
It could go wrong at any moment, man.
It's
just the energy to me. Some people would think Houston got more energy, but to me, it's San Antonio, man. And just, and being known in the city and that, most of the time, nobody really know who I am in Houston sometimes,
Yeah.
I'm saying, oh, man.
And I was about to ask, I mean, from the music scene in Houston, like, there was a bit of a connection though back then.
Like, well, still, I deal with them, but their energy towards us is different. Like, oh yeah, they know who I am, but it's no starstruck thing or whatever. I'm just that guy, I was San Antonio, here, this and that. But I mean, down here, even last night, like they're bringing more drinks to the thing. Everybody wants, then I can even drink, and it's just all, it's so much of a connection. You can't deny it. And I'm fully immersed in it. Next thing you know.
Yeah,
I couldn't even drink everything they were shooting last night, but Omi probably would have tried, and
Yeah. then we would have saw Liveola dropped you part 2.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like that. I just gotta,
You got to do it. You can't do that.
I gotta keep a sense of control. You know.
I hear you.
I'm still real kid in mind. I mean, as much as I'm grown, man. I'm just so grateful for so much and so happy and just the way shit just works out somehow, some way, always. It's just it keep me just.
That's dope though, man. That you had the wherewithal to remove yourself, right? Because obviously you're probably thinking about your family and
absolutely
and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope.
See, because Kyle came and got me when I was in prison and for my parole. Kyle went with my lawyer and Kyle Lee went and talked to the parole board. And was like, look, man, we're gonna get him. We're gonna pull him to the side. This man's got all this and it going. And they were like, okay. Well, my lawyer was like, hey, man, I don't know who you saying your friend, but they're really feeling your friend. He really articulate, and they're gonna try out his proposal. And you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So Kyle like yes.
That's
why I'm so indebted to Kyle Lee, man. Like he didn't have to do that, man. And even if I had friends that would have do that, could they have pulled that off? You know, my ghetto partners get in front of the parole board. You know, like. But he did that, man. He came and got me, you know. I was like, man, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do for you? What I owe you? I mean, just don't get locked up again. Right? So
that's hard,
what I'm
man.
saying. So I should try to just keep the balance.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Big shout out to Kyle for that, bro.
Yeah, I did not know that, man.
That's why so I look at my son, my daughter just born, and it's like none of this would have been possible without Kyle Lee. You know what I'm saying? He can't do no wrong. I don't care what he does.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. I didn't know that.
Because and this is obviously this is probably a combo for him, you know. Hopefully when he comes on, but
Kyle, you're welcome.
Because there is like and I don't know if you've gotten this, but in some in the city, he kind of comes off as disingenuous sometimes, right?
I've heard it,
right? Because he'll post certain things, and this is just the term the kids is like for the gram. There's a lot of he does things for the gram, but
for the likes but
I had no idea about that.
You know. Image, and I understand why they say that, what they see, some people may see, but man, he's really genuine dude. Like he's really helping people because he want to help people and doing this stuff, you know. But it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't thing, you know. Like these people, like if you feed a homeless person and you don't videotape it, you're not encouraging nobody or nothing, whatever. But if you do, then you're disrespecting the homeless person. Or you're doing it for clout, or it's like damn if you damn if you don't, but I know he's done a lot that y'all ain't never gonna hear about, but and for me personally, the man put thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in my pocket, man. Just when I ain't have a grunt.
Shout out to Kyle, bro.
And shout out to you for telling your story, man.
Oh yeah,
because I think not only you were a staple in this city, still. And you laid the blueprint for not only me but others, and especially in the music game and everything as well. You deserve your flowers, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
And thank you for everything you contributed to,
absolutely,
in the city and music and everything else as well.
Thank you, man.
Come on, man. And what else you got going on in the pipeline, man? This your time to shine, man.
I'm just working on these projects, man. Trying to. I shouldn't even speak on that.
Shit! You know what that means.
Working on stuff.
You know what that means.
Working on stuff. I got my juice. Man. Yeah, Liveola berry. You know
what I mean.
Berry limeade, man. Wonderful juice, man, with real sugar. Man, I'm talking about.
Berry lemonade.
Yeah,
this fire.
Crazy.
I'm about to. Crazy. I might drink this with my Pete's hot chicken today.
Hey, it's just some great juice, man. No alcohol, none of that, man. Yeah.
Thank God, because
y'all get that on Kali.com too if you.
Oh, this man got a website.
But shout to my brother though, man, Kali, man. He gets a lot of flack, man. But that man bent over all the way backwards for doing a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Raising money stuff. The anti-bully thing.
I like that.
Pulling up in kids' schools, man, being bullied, man.
Right.
In Phantoms and Bentleys, man.
And shout out to Mouse. They were recently on. That was their daughter.
He did it for this autistic kid too, man. Man, I hate bullies too, man. And just to do that, like stuff like that, man, you change the trajectory of a kid's whole life. You know what I'm saying? Even people just witnessing that,
Yeah.
So.
For sure. My last question for you, though, is live right now, talking to 10-year-old live.
Okay.
What advice would you give them?
Yeah, this is what I shall give. All the wild shit, like when they tell you don't go to prison, you're gonna worry about bubble, you're gonna have to fight. That would discourage nobody. They should tell you, man, keep it clean, keep your nose clean so you can make more money. All the little things you don't think matter, going to jail here and a little bullshit here stops the money. You know, I did 10 years in prison. Even if I worked at McDonald's and got $25,000, $20,000, that's $100,000. So just think, when I missed 10 years in prison, you know, I see where my brother Kyle is at right now with the 10-year head start on me, or you know, where I had paused. I'm like, man, just the reckless thoughts, you know, to take me a second, I could have just rewound back, you know, can cost so much.
Right.
And really, man, just don't fuck up the money, man.
That's key, man.
There's spaces in your life where there's money you can't get in other spaces, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I got a what they call a hypothetical for you real quick, man.
Let's do it.
19-year-old Live in 2023. What is he doing?
Surely I'll be on World Star. Surely I'll probably be on Bond.
But let's just say creatively, musically.
I'll be a damn drill rapper or something, man.
No, shit.
Because I would have missed that era. I would have missed my era. So the only thing that would, if I'd be a damn drill rapper, man. Chief Keef or something, man.
Fan.
I promise.
Out of San Antonio, man.
Oh, man, I'll boost the crime rate, man.
But I'll tell you what, I think you'd have the city on fire. I'll say that, though.
Oh, man.
And then another question, you staying independent? Well, I guess so. Nowadays, why not? Or are you taking the deal?
Look, man, that independent, that sounds great, man. But and being your own boss sounds great, man. But I would love a deal. I still would love a damn deal. I'm sorry, man. Give me a budget and tell me where I need to be at, and I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, give me an M advance or something, man, and say, hey, you got to be this place at this time. It's cool. I'm there. I've been doing this shit on my own so long. I don't mind taking directions, man. Give my itinerary, man. I'm there, man.
Yeah,
with my check.
I've been doing this independent thing for a long time. Now it's funny. I was talking to my partner about that. The independent grind and all that sounds nice. But people don't know the hours, the sleepless nights that you got, the grind you got to put in to stay.
Stuff and man,
the money spent. You know,
spent. You got to your whole budget, your whole everything is combined. Like, oh man.
I said, nah, give me direction, bro. I'll take that deal.
The money and the itinerary.
Absolutely.
With bells on.
Yeah, for sure. So, Live, where can they follow you if they want to get a hold of you or see what you got going on?
IG, man, I'm at Outside Liveola, man. Outside Live on all platforms, man. Just put Outside Live, it'll come up. Some underscores in there somewhere. Yeah. You know? And
that's
I'm on all platforms.
Yeah.
Control Freak, I just dropped.
Hey.
Got a new video out with Highway Yellow. My trunk wave is still going crazy with Big Pokey, man.
Yeah.
They combine videos like a million. Man, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere again. I'm here.
And I saw you recently shot a video with PJ the Rap Hustle.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Yesterday for yesterday. Yeah, man.
The PJ. Yeah, nah, that's what's up, man. I'm excited. Live, thank you for pulling up and
thank y'all for having me.
Come on, man.
It's fun, man.
For sure.
Yeah, Live, again, to echo what Mazi's saying, man. Appreciate you coming. You were one of the ones that when we started this shit, we were like, yo, if we can get Live on, bro.
Facts. Facts.
It'd be like one of those kind of like, yeah, put that on, like mark that shit on the calendar for the books, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come back for the freestyle, you know.
You heard that. Live come back for Just Rap.
Oh man.
Gotta make it count though, you know.
What? Oh no, it's about to go. It's about to go crazy, man. If this was 04, you could have found me at Urban City, posted, waiting for the new Third Degree tape or Live Solo to drop, or any other mixtape for that matter. But yeah, at MCs World Official, on all platforms, Twitch as well, and yeah, catch us every single Monday. Like, share, subscribe. Your boy Mazi, Liveola, Skrills, the OCD, Record Ralph in the cut. Everybody in here, man. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Maserati. So focused, I just need some meaning to my name. Plus, I'm cheating with these codes. If you thinking it's a game, that's real talk, man.